Now that the WGA strike is over and the SAG-AFTRA strike rules don't prohibit me from going forward with a table read, I should be spending today telling you all about my plans for my table read for my feature Anatomy of a Love Song, the contained romantic comedy film that's going to be my debut feature as a writer-director. But I've run into an issue. And the issue isn't about booking a space or finding actors or even finding the money to pay actors. I have all of that. I have the capabilities and the resources and the contacts to get going, but I haven't been able to take a step forward. And it's because of something that I am hoping that all writers go through, all creatives go through, so that maybe there's some solidarity out there. But it's this thing that I am calling cringe paralysis. Now, cringe paralysis is very related to paralysis for sharing your work anywhere. The fear that you're going to get rejected, told it's terrible, told you can't write, can't paint, can't act, can't sing, whatever it is. It's connected to that fear of sharing your work, of putting yourself out there. And obviously as creatives, we all have to get over that fear, put our work out there, and let people love it, because that's the only way we can succeed. But cringe paralysis, this is something that's new for me, and it's something that is tangentially related to that fear, because my fear when I share this script isn't that I think people will think I'm a bad writer. I know I'm a good writer. I know I'm talented. I know some people might not get my writing, and some people will love it. I've had that experience before, so it's not about whether or not people will think it's good. It's about whether or not people will think it's cringe. People will listen to the script and be like, yeah, that's a solid story, it's cohesive, but it's just so icky and gross, and I got the ick from it, you know? I'm just having this fear that no matter how much I work on this script, it is inherently cringe. And I don't know what I should do about this, because I don't want to read my script and confirm to myself that it's cringe, because if I think it's cringy, then odds are everyone else is going to. And what if I don't like it? What if I don't want to work on it again? And I don't want to send it out to people, because what if they read it and they don't think it's cringe, but then I figure out that it's cringe in the middle of the table read. And then I'm just letting people listen to this story that I'm telling, and I thought I was telling from the bottom of my heart. Maybe my heart's just made of cringe. And so I'm sitting here not doing any work on this table read and just worrying that I have a box where the script is in, and it's Schrodinger's cringe. And inside this box is my script, and it might be cringe and it might not be, but I'm too afraid to open the box. And that's cringe paralysis. Now, I said I've never experienced cringe paralysis before, and it's true. This is the first time I've experienced this paralysis. But I've experienced in the past, twice, I'm now remembering, 2 times when I've shared my work and I've realized in the middle or after the fact that it was cringe. Now, I said at the start that I hadn't experienced cringe paralysis before, and I haven't. I've never felt this fear of sharing my work because I'm afraid it's just cringed before this moment. But I have had 2 times in my life where I've shared work and I've felt the cringe in the middle of sharing it. And I think this might be contributing to my cringe paralysis, and I'll tell you about them briefly. First time was in 2nd grade. We were doing a unit on storytelling, and we all had to create stories about how we got our names. And our names, it wasn't just the usual story of how you get your name. My name is Paige. It starts with a P. I'm named after my grandfather, Philip. Name also starts with a P, who died before I was born. And so that's that connection. We had to look at the meaning of our names and then write a story and tell the story out loud about how we got our names and what the meaning of them was. And most people just did a few sentences, which I realized as I was in class watching everyone shared. But I had prepared a whole 2 to 3 page story where I had brought in a little bunny stuffed animal as a visual aid, and talked about how this bunny was going outside and was a messenger, because Page, P-A-G-E, can mean messenger. I created a whole story, and in retrospect it was great, but in the middle of it I just realized that I was telling a story using a stuffed animal as a prop and going for 10 minutes when all of my classmates were in and out in 30 seconds. And I felt so embarrassed and so I did something weird. I did something different. And my teacher loved it and my mom loved it, but my friends and the class were just like, oh, what's this girl on? I'm extra. what can I say? The second time was in high school in science class. We had an assignment to create a musical instrument out of a gourd and then play a song on it. Most people played like Row, Row, Row Your Boat. I made a guitar out of a long squash, and I played Music of the Night from Phantom of the Opera. And I realized in the middle of it I did that. And after class, someone who was in orchestra with me, because I played viola, and who was much cooler than I was, according to high school, said, that was a lot that you just did. Yeah, I've done the cringe before. I've had great ideas, and I think they're great, and then in the middle of executing them, I realize, oh crap, this did not go well. This is, I'm feeling the heat from everyone's eyes of, oh, I'm embarrassed for you. I have the secondhand embarrassment. And that's what I'm afraid of with this script. Maybe it's too Jewish. Maybe because of the 2 Jews, 3 opinions rule, where you have 2 Jews talking about something, you're going to get 3 opinions. Maybe I've done Judaism wrong, when I've represented it wrong. Maybe everything I think is sexy isn't sexy. Maybe everything I think is funny isn't funny, and it's just weird and not in a good way. And I know there's only one way to solve this, and that's to just get off my ass and do the things for this table read. But I don't want to feel cringe. This is going to be my first feature as a writer-director, and I want to make sure that I'm starting off on a really good foot. Especially because I'm going to be asking actors to perform it, and you all out there to watch it and listen and give feedback. And so I need a reality check. So I'm going to be sending my script off to my writing group. I said I wasn't going to do it, and I'm going to be asking them, honestly, how cringe is this? What do I need to change? What do you hate? And I'm not going to change everything to make it sanitized and make it easy for everyone to understand and crowd pleasing, because something that's crowd pleasing, the 4-quadrant films, it's so unlikely most of the time that they're going to be able to get a real cult following, devoted fans, because they're just milquetoast. They're meant to appeal to the broadest mass of people possible without being anything super specific. The way that you get devoted fans is to make something that appeals to a small group of people, but make them feel it deeply, feel seen and recognized and heard deeply. So I'm going to send out my script to my writing group for a cringe read. I'm going to ask them what they think is cringe. Do they think it's cringe? What should I change? And then I'm not just going to make those changes. I am going to listen to my gut. I am going to read the script then myself and decide, is this cringe worth it? Because I don't want to appeal to everyone. I want to appeal to people who love the thing that I do and love it so deeply that they're going to evangelize about it, even though we don't evangelize in Judaism. I need a gut check, and I'm going to use my writing group as my gut check, and then hopefully I can break free from the cringe paralysis, because I think that my problem isn't necessarily that I don't want people to cringe. I mean, I don't, but it's the fact that I don't know if they will. I can be prepared for people not liking something as long as I feel confident in it. Right now, I'm just scared. That's my plan for handling cringe paralysis. I hope it works. In the comments below, please drop in a comment and let me know how you've handled cringe paralysis in the past, or if you've experienced it, because I would love to hear about it, and also sharing this stuff just kind of frees you. At least it frees me. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see y'all next week with more Cake Fight Presents The Making Of, hopefully with an update on the cringe.